Good morning. It is March 8th. It is 6:06 in the AM, and I'm Beth, and this is my box. I'm at work, and today is literally my Friday as far as being time off, but for everybody else, it's Saturday. Why is that up there like that? Oh, try and get that better. I was trying to make it so it wasn't cockeyed, but then, hold on. Okay, that's better. I was trying to get rid of this thingy over here. It's not that big of a thing. So yeah, I'm at work. Everything is all right. Oh, yesterday Beth got what Beth wanted. I left at 4:30. Why? Because everybody knew Beth wants to leave at 4:30. There are some certain pleasures of getting older, at least for me, and now I don't care. So I'm not going to allow others to take advantage of the beautiful self that is me. I know you people in video land don't get to have the pleasure of me being giving you customer service, but that's okay. Uh, the customers that come through seem to enjoy it. Every now and then, you got your little prickly pair. That's okay. You deal with them too. Prickly back. All right. As far as some of the weird stuff that's happened in my life, first of all, let me just say, set that weird stuff aside. If you haven't watched Lincoln Project's newest Vladimir Putin puppy dog with Dumpy Boy, oh my God, you got to go watch it, because I have a mean streak in me, because if you want to be a prick, as it were, I will be prickly back, as I've said. So with Dumpy Boy, I tried to close down my X account, and it was actually difficult. I should have been able to do it, and it should have been done and gone. But no, they want to make me jump through a whole bunch of hoops to try and just close out my account. Elon's like Dumpy in the aspect that he wants the numbers. So, okay, you won't let me close my account easily? Then I'll use you like you've used the rest of us, Mr. Elon. So I use my X account, which is the Deadbird site, and I tweeted the Lincoln Project Vladimir Putin video at Dumpy yesterday. And I did it before I came to work. So it was like maybe 5 o'clock in the morning when I tweeted it out to him. And then Dumpy had a hissy fit not much longer afterwards. So this morning I decided to do the same thing. Only this time I retweeted the video, or I posted the video because it wasn't a retweet. And I included Stormy Daniels and I included Rick Wilson in the tweet, and did it as a conversational type of a tweet because that's what I do. So I've never met Stormy Daniels in my life, but I give her kudos for her kahunas, man, because she's got some big ones. Anyway, so I started the tweet off with, "Hey, Stormy Daniels, have you seen this by Rick Wilson?" This video by Rick Wilson of, and I put Trump's or Dumpy Boy's handle there too. So he's included in it. So he knows that Stormy's seen it, and he knows that Rick Wilson knows that Stormy's seen it, and he gets to see it again. It pissed him off. He did something stupid as normal, but other people are saying that he woke up and had bad news and was in a bad mood. And I think part of it was because early in the morning he got to see that video. So fuck you, Dumpy. So that's nice. I think I am planning on going on March 14th, which is next Friday at noon, to go to DC to protest against him because he's illegitimate from one standpoint all the way down to the other. The Supreme Court is illegitimate for what they've done and how they have presented themselves to the public. The public has no trust in them whatsoever. If you're going to remove a 50-year precedent, as far as the abortion issue is concerned, because you have your peas in a twist about it because you're a dude and you think that you should be able to control women. F you, dude. F you. It's too late. You can't do it. You can do it now, but you're going to pay the repercussions afterwards. So, yeah, I'm going to D.C. next Friday. Might even stay out on Saturday, too, just because listen to my voice at this point. And I think that's partly why they did, well, there's more than one reason, but I think that's partly why they made sure there was somebody in the booth next to me, because I reiterated the point that I really want to leave at 4:30, and with Soul not being over there, the guy who used to work with me, my voice gets worked out extra hard. I don't get a break. So 10 hours of continual talking with the opening, closing of the doors, it's rough on my voice, including the fact that I haven't quit smoking yet. So, sorry. Anyway, some of let's stick with the lights. The lights are, it's a mixture. Because first you have the lights that are like electricity, and yeah, there's been things with that has happened. But one of the more well-known things that people in the mysticism world, I guess you would say, have commented on their own spot, and they've made their own video of, ooh, what is this? What is that? And they made it interesting enough for you to want to look at their video, like clickbait, but they don't really go into any of the, well, what the fuck was that? Excuse me. So in trying to understand it myself, I don't even really know what the fuck that is. But you have to try and put all the pieces together, even with missing pieces, because you don't fully understand. I used to have those orbs of light come at weird times and do weird things. And most of the time, I didn't have a witness to let me know that it wasn't just me seeing that. It wasn't like I was having a brain aneurysm or something. It really was weird and real. So one of the times that the orbs came and did things, I didn't even see. This I found to be extraordinarily cool. I had some friends. Remember Spuds, if you watched the other videos before? Well, I was at Spuds' house with his wife and they had not had the baby yet. I was at his house and we were just drinking and smoking and whatever, just chilling, like you do with your friends. And they had two rescue pit bull mixes that were chained up in the backyard. And one of the dogs' name was Sheba, and I forget the other one's name, which is a shame. But anyway, they were both in the backyard, and I had this camera that was an old school Vivitar. And the film you put in it was about this big, and it had like circles at both ends, little canisters at both ends, and then had like a bar in between the two canisters. And that's how you would load the film back in the old school days into this camera. Well, this Vivitar camera, I wish I still had it to this day, because damn, that thing was some sneaky ass bitch filming. I went out one night and I took some pictures of Sheba and the other dog outside in their natural environment. And I didn't see anything bizarre. There was nothing that I saw. But when I got the film developed after having taken pictures of Sheba and the other dog, there was a light that was in the pictures. You could see it. It was like going from one side to the other side. And you could think that it was my camera that was effing up. And that kind of is what I thought at the time. But then if you took the two pictures that were taken one after the other and you lined it up, not with the dogs, but with the light that was in the picture, because the light not only was in the first picture, it was also in the second picture. So to line them up, if the film was bad or if the camera was bad, you would think it'd be, side by side and the streak would just run straight across. But it didn't. That's not how it worked. How it worked was one would say, like, the light was right here, okay, and this is the film or the next picture. Well, the light wasn't right here to make it a straight line. The light was more like up here. So in order to line it up, I had to push the two pictures together in order to get the line of the light to line up. So I thought, that's weird. But you can see the dog in the picture kind of cowering down like it was scared for a little bit. So that was one of the weird ones that I actually was able to document. I have no idea where those pictures are now, but that was a weird thing. Well, in that same roll of film of taking of pictures, we had, or I had taken a picture of Spuds with his wife. And when I did the picture, it was so weird. Very weird. It was like a premonition camera, which is why I wish I had the camera. Because a line that, it was basically a shadow, came in between Spuds and his wife in the picture. And there was nothing to cast that shadow between the two of them. And it wasn't, maybe a year, 2 years afterwards that they ended up going through the divorce proceedings. So that was fascinating. So yeah, I really like that camera. Wish I had it still. Anyway, and then one of the ones, the light popping, I guess you could say, um, was when I was at work at Shoney's. It was a restaurant back when it actually had some semi decent food. I'm not too sure about it now. Maybe it's just my taste buds have changed and it was the same food, but now it just tastes like, ew. Anyway, I was there. I was in a bad mood. I was grumpy as shit. And I was doing what was called whistling. It's basically kind of like a vacuum and a broom combined, but there's no electricity, and you just go back and forth and take up what needs to be taken up during the middle of the day shift when barely any customers are there. That was part of my chore. My duties before I got off my shift was to clean the carpets where customers had been. And, when there's babies, oh my God, it's so tragic trying to clean up after a baby, especially if the parents have little awareness as to what kind of a disaster they're leaving behind. Anyway, I was mad and grumpy, and when I get like that, I'll talk to myself. I always have done it, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So I was like whistling, and I'm mad, and it's like, why the fuck am I here? I don't understand why you want me here. And when I'm in the middle of this, I was in a room that was the atrium, okay? And as I'm in the atrium, fussing and cussing under my breath, more or less, there were no customers that were in there. It was just me having a moment with myself. And then all of a sudden, poof, this huge burst of white light happened in the atrium. And to me, I was like, oh, what the fuck good does that do? Because I was just full of piss and vinegar. And it's like, because it had happened already a couple of times, I was unfazed by it. Because while it's fascinating and like, what does that mean type of a thing, it was also not helpful because it did nothing. It didn't change my circumstances, you know what I mean? So I just kind of brushed it off and continued to do my bissel and cuss and fuss under my breath and shit. And right after the burst of light happened, a coworker who was also a waitress came running into the atrium, and she's like, "Did you see that? Did you see that? There was a big old burst of white light." And I was like, "Yeah, I saw it. What does it mean? I have no idea. I'm still here doing this." So I brushed it off like it was nothing, but it was actually a big thing, especially for people who have never had that experience before. So I still don't understand it 100%. And it happened more in my youth than it does now. Now it's more of that white light that was popping around me is now in me, in a way of speaking. Because I don't need the outwardness, although it's nice to have some kind of a sign to let me know that I'm at least somewhat on the right track. You know what I'm saying? But because a different white light happened to me, I don't. First, because I'm an old crone, I don't menstruate anymore. So I think that lessens some of the aspects of the spirituality, because it changes your mindset. Because when you're a female and you're still menstruating, you always, when you have sex with somebody, have the thought in the back of your mind, "Oh my God, am I going to get pregnant?" So you have this whole thing in your head. But when you reach my age, you don't have that concern anymore. You don't have to worry about it. So it changes your perception on things. Anyway, I went over to a friend of mine's house that I literally called my priestess because that was her name. That was her last name. It was a married name, not just, she was born that way. But I enjoyed the concept of her being my priestess. Just play on words kind of situation. Anyway, I had a dream before I went to her house this one night, and I was at her house, which was a trailer, and in the trailer, it was her house, but it was uniquely different in different ways. Like there was a vivid blue paint that was there. She had animals that she doesn't really have in the house. There were a couple of birds in cages, and it was just a really lovely setup. I didn't know why I was having the dream about it. I just had the dream. You know what I mean? So the night that I came over to her house, it was around Easter time frame one year. And we did what we always do. We were smoking and drinking and just chilling. And I felt relaxed and comfortable and safe. I knew with this chick that I had nothing to worry about. She was not going to try and hurt me or take advantage of me or any of that. So I was free to be me and just love the moment that I was in and just enjoy shooting the shit over nothing. So, while it was just me and her talking, because nobody else was there, we're drinking our beer, and I'm telling you, we were professional beer drinkers. Okay, we could go through a suitcase of beer. That's 24 beers in one night together, and still be looking for more because we were good. We were professional beer drinkers. That's right. Anyway, so as we're sitting there talking, an overwhelming sense of love came through my body. I felt love for this wonderful woman that was sitting across from me because I knew she loved me. Not in a touchy-feely kind of way, but just in the appreciation of, here's a person who's not going to look down on me just because I live in a trailer. Here's a person who's going to respect me for being human, because being human can be hard. So it was that kind of thing. And in that moment of just feeling love and admiration for the moment of what it was, I started to glow. That light that I had seen on the outside, that popped in the atrium, like I said, it came from inside me, and I glue. I was the light. Okay. So when that happened, She looked at me and she just started bawling. I mean, bawling. And I was like, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Don't worry about it. So, what she got to see was a beautiful aspect of love. When you really get to it, it's love. All this hate and animosity that's out there with the whole dumping factor, it's the wrong way, people. Hate is not going to get you to where you want to go, which is what I've been trying to tell you people. But because I've been so mad about it, I couldn't get it clearly through to you because you're ignorant on that whole Magadumpian thing. That's the wrong way. Turn around. If you're one of those Magadonians who probably never watch me because I rarely get over, 20 views, except for the Kendrick Lamar, that I got 200 views on. So that was cool. But anyway, I was the light at that point. That's the reason why I say the orbs don't go around me or pop off like they used to, because now it's inside me. Now I know it's within me. But it doesn't come out on a regular basis. I have to be happy. I have to feel safe. I have to be comfortable. I have to feel free to just love. And that's all it is. If you want that type of experience, first of all, you need to start studying a bit more on what you're doing. Yes, the Bible has some great guides, but it is a skeletal backbone of what you need to look at. You need to look at it, yes, but you also need to understand there's more to life and there's more to the story than what was written. Okay? So look into numerology, look into astrology, because a lot of what's in the Bible is actually more astrological based than it is human based. They were trying to encode the message for their people for later in the future. So, because of the happenings that happened with this, that, and the other, they had to write it in code so that all their enemies wouldn't understand what it was they were trying to say. And it's been so long that they've forgotten what all that meant. So look into your astrology, take a course, look into it and study it because it's fascinating and it's true most times. At least that's the energy, because you have to remember we are all energy beings. So we may be spiritual and we may be physical humans. We are all just energy. We are all light that's just bent in a certain way, so we can't see each other as being light entities. But that's what we are. Science has shown that we are just a version of light, and we see each other as we are and not as the light beings that we actually are. Anyway, look at me talking for 23 minutes. Anyway, okay, it's my Friday, which is actually Saturday, and I'll have 3 days off. If y'all come on March 14th to Washington, D.C. to say fuck you to that dumpian, I'll see you there, okay? All right, otherwise, y'all take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, and peace out, people. Woo.